Hello and welcome. Today we're going to uncover a potential danger that could be hiding in one of the most familiar appliances in every single one of our kitchens, the refrigerator.
We all tend to assume that storing food in the fridge is the best way to keep it safe from bacteria. But is that really completely true? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. There's a dangerous type of bacteria out there that doesn't just survive, but actually thrives in the cold temperatures of your refrigerator. And that is the hidden enemy we're going to get to know today.
So in this explainer, we're going to walk through 5 key sections to really understand this threat. What is listeriosis? Where does it come from? Who is most vulnerable? What are the symptoms to look out for? And most importantly, how can we actively prevent it?
Let's start with part 1 to find out what exactly is listeriosis.
Listeriosis is a bacterial infection caused by a bug called Listeria monocytogenes. Now, what makes this particular bacterium so dangerous is its unique ability. It has a characteristic that's incredibly unusual in the microbial world. It can survive and even multiply at refrigerator temperatures, a place where most other harmful bacteria would be stopped in their tracks.
And here's a truly alarming statistic. For those who are unlucky enough to contract invasive listeriosis, that's the severe form of the disease, 1 out of every 6 people will not survive. And that rate is even higher in high-risk groups. Now, even though the number of annual cases isn't huge, for example, the US sees about 1,600 cases a year, it's this incredibly high death rate that makes listeriosis one of the most dangerous foodborne infections. This really underscores just how important awareness is.
So, where does this bacteria come from, and how does it get into our bodies? Let's find out in Part 2, Origins and Transmission Routes.
Listeria can be found pretty much everywhere in the environment, in soil, water, even animal manure, and it can contaminate food during the production process. The highest risk foods include things like unpasteurized dairy products like soft cheeses, raw vegetables, deli meats, hot dogs, refrigerated smoked seafood, and other ready-to-eat processed foods.
And this right here is the crucial point. A food item might start out with just a tiny amount of bacteria, but after spending time in the fridge, it can turn into a literal bacterial bomb, just waiting to cause illness when you eat it.
Not everyone is at the same risk of getting seriously ill. So, who are the people most vulnerable to this bacteria?
Health experts identify 4 main groups at the highest risk. These are pregnant women, adults age 65 and over, newborns, and people with weakened immune systems, like cancer patients, organ transplant recipients, or individuals with HIV.
For pregnant women, even if they only experience mild, flu-like symptoms themselves, a Listeria infection can have absolutely devastating consequences for the unborn baby, including miscarriage, stillbirth, premature delivery, or a severe, even fatal infection in the newborn.
So how can we recognize if we might have been infected? Let's take a look at the symptoms.
Listeriosis can present in 2 main forms. The milder form, known as gastroenteritis, usually appears within 24 hours of eating contaminated food. Symptoms include fever, muscle aches, and diarrhea, and it typically lasts for 1 to 3 days. However, the severe form, called invasive listeriosis, is much more dangerous. It can take several days or even up to a month to develop and causes severe symptoms like a high fever, stiff neck, and confusion, which are all signs of meningitis.
The danger of the severe form is truly concerning. When Listeria attacks the central nervous system and causes meningitis, the mortality rate in older adults can shoot up to 29%. That means nearly 1 in 3 who get it won't survive.
Now that we understand just how serious listeriosis can be, the most important part is this: what can we do to actively prevent it?
There are 4 simple but incredibly effective steps that everyone, especially those in high-risk groups, should follow. 1. Identify and avoid high-risk foods. 2. Always cook food thoroughly. 3. Practice safe food preparation, including washing your hands and kitchen tools. And finally, read food labels carefully. Let's take a closer look at the foods to watch out for. We're talking about soft cheeses like feta or brie, especially if they're made from unpasteurized milk. Processed meats like hot dogs, deli meats, and pâté need to be heated to at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 Celsius before eating. Refrigerated smoked seafood like lox should also be avoided unless it's been cooked in a dish. And of course, always say no to raw, unpasteurized milk and dairy products.
This quote really sums it all up. It's the small daily habits in how you choose and prepare your food that will create the strongest line of defense for you and your loved ones. So to recap, listeriosis is a serious foodborne illness, and it's especially dangerous for vulnerable populations. The good news, though, is that it is entirely preventable. The key lies in being conscious and careful about how you choose, handle, and prepare your food.
I hope this explainer has provided you with some useful information. If you found this content valuable, don't forget to hit like, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to the MediByte channel for more medical knowledge to help protect the health of you and your family. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.